kernel was on the fucking floor, people.
That was such a good. We got to order from that place.
Ugh.
Food was so good, and like you've helped me so much in my life and my business. I'm not interested in her. I think she would be a full-time job to hang out with as a friend. I think it would be a lot of work. It's all about her. I'm just not interested in that
What
person.
about the
But
dating where she
what
says,
about it? She's a
well,
who would
she's
take any legal wedding marriage advice from her? She wants every woman to sign a prenup. It's like, yes, because you've been engaged 9 times. They see you, they are brought, they think your body's hot. And then the minute it goes south and they realize they spend 3 months with you, they're out. It's like
you think
so
they just want to
important.
get Bethany in bed for the hot body, and then she opens her mouth and
Yes.
they're like, please shut the fuck up. Sarah, man, you are setting the women's movement back here today, darling. But
Oh,
I
I
think,
already have. And the thing with men that are rich is they want it to be about them. That she's not going to bag a billionaire. You think there's a reason Lauren Sanchez is with Jeff
mhm,
because Lauren blows up Jeff and she has a few charity things and she's now going to space for him and it's about Jeff. It's not Bethany's
mhm.
not going to be with a man like that. She's not going to be with a man period because that
Well,
personality
she
is so
says that. She
difficult.
says she goes out with people that are very, first of all, she wants us to know these guys are very wealthy, very wealthy. She can't even believe the wealth. But, they're in a different business. But then they say, well,
People.
maybe I'll get into a podcast. Maybe I'll do like a social media channel because that's what everybody wants. And she said, as soon as they decide to do that, she wakes up and they see that they come in with a silver tray. Bethany, we have this venture capital deal for you. We have this. And when they start to get into her space, they say, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying to get these meetings, and yet things are handed to you on a silver platter because you are Bethany, big platform, and they get jealous. And so she says she needs a really rich guy, but someone that actually thinks everything she does is silly because they all say that, but then they all want the podcast and they realize you just speak on TikTok and have millions of people listen. I try so hard. I spend days on this, and I finally have a meeting with Netflix. You just walk into Netflix in your sweats and say, give me the DL. That's basically what she said.
And if that were the case, she'd have a deal. She doesn't have a deal. And she always frames it like, oh, I don't want a deal. I walked away. No,
Well, just
everybody wants
like
a deal. I
I
mean,
sh
she's a rent. They all want back on TV. Poor Nene. I mean,
really, but just like I
RHONJ.
shouldn't make myself smaller to make someone else feel. Bethany shouldn't make herself smaller to make some like small dicked man feel better about himself.
She's not realistic. It's not about making yourself smaller. It's about, I don't believe for 1 second. I think any man that's wealthy of value is not interested because he doesn't want his personal life, his private life, his ex's life, his kid's life blown up on her social media for a just be divorced podcast. Like, no, there's a
You gotta pull a
level of
Tinsley.
discretion.
You gotta
Yeah,
pull a Tinsley. Tinsley grew up with everything.
there you
All
go.
she wanted with those kids and a marriage. She had it. She got a divorce. Then she met the other one. He turned out to be an asshole. Now look at her. I mean, Tinsley laughs. You don't think they didn't want Tinsley for that legacy, that Roni legacy? Oh, please. They knew don't even call me. They did call her. She said, wrong number. Tinsley is living off the grid. She has the kids now. His wife died. I mean, now that's the gold standard. You meet a guy who was in love with his wife and the wife passed away and he has the kids. He wasn't a dog. She passed away. Heart never thought he would find someone again. Now is falling in love with Tinsley. She has the kids now. Not her own, but they're calling her mom. They'll never forget their mother. But that Tinsley got everything she wanted, girl. You always look for a guy whose spouse
Yes,
passed
and
away.
he
It's a
runs
nice
a
guy.
giant steel company down in Georgia. You think he's going to be with
No, that's what I
Bethany?
mean.
Exactly. He's not. Exactly.
Tinsley's
He's
like, you
not.
want me to throw my phone in the river? Great. You want me to never be back? Because she knows that this is nothing. This is nothing if you're not happy. I say money can buy happiness. I mean, like, you gotta happy inside first. Like Tinsley knows, like it doesn't, she's had everything.
The only thing of value that Bethany said in that interview that I could relate to was she said that before you get married, the reason she does a prenup, of course, this is also called couples therapy, is that you have to work out, what your beliefs are around money, around raising kids, around religion.
You said that.
And I tell people all the time, and when my husband and I, before we got married, about a year before we got married, we started with an emotional cognitive therapist, which basically all that is like you have to really tap into like why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And it was the greatest thing we ever did. She saved our marriage. She's the reason we're married today. And we had all those conversations beforehand. Religion, how many kids, money, who was going to, and of course here we are 5 years, almost 6 years later. And even though we kind of said like this is the roles, like my husband always said to me, I'm going to be a stay-at-home father. He isn't going to stay at home. He loves to work. He loves his. So we're finding like a new balance, right? But at least we had those conversations. You don't need that with a prenup. You need a great therapist and you need two people that are willing to do that work before you get married. And if you have a partner that says no, and my husband was like, I don't want to go to therapy. If we need therapy before marriage, that's not a good sign. And the therapist was like, no, it's actually the opposite. You are getting ready to embark on the biggest contract of your life. The fact that you wouldn't put in time, research, effort, you wouldn't sit down for an hour every 2 weeks and hash out the biggest contract of your life, that's bananas. So, people need to just find a great therapist, do the work, find a partner. And that's the best part of my husband. It's not that we agree on everything. It's that he's willing to show up. And so am I. And like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's put the effort in. We really love each other. All that's missing from her conversation. It's like, and it's a contract, and we're gonna like, and I'm Jewish, and you're Catholic, and we're gonna raise them. And it's like, no, this is why nothing is ever, you can't make a relationship work. Actually, no,
Well,
it's,
guess what?
so there you go.
Me and Erica Jane have decided
I love EJ.
we
Everybody,
are going to be single forever. So Erica's a girl after my own heart. I got to be honest with you.
I don't think she's single, but okay.
Oh, do you know something the rest of us don't know?
I just think she's the bombshell. She's the blondie in Hollywood.
Really?
Everything. I think she's very discreet and she gives Garcelle a very hard time because Garcelle, we'll talk about next show, is exiting. But yeah, I mean, I think all these women are really good at, I think they're very good at concealing their real lives.
Really? You think
Yeah.
something's like got some like hot young stud on the side?
No, I don't think she does.
Well, I mean, that's what, yeah.
But
I
I mean, Kyle's a lesbian. I mean, give me a break. Kyle's a lesbian,
Kyle
full out.
is in love.
In love.
Love.
She's a lickety
Love is
split.
in the
Like,
air. Ooh.
yes.
Love is in the air. I mean, we'll have to
And
talk about that.
happy with Morgan.
Follows Morgan to Amsterdam. Why couldn't you be at the show I went at in New York?
And I
Then I would have really had to run for the hills. She would have been like, "Don't tell him anything."
I freaking love Kathy. Kathy's like, I told my kids I'm a lesbian to support you.
Kyle is like, "Shut the fuck up. Let me do this." By the way, before we go, Candy and Todd. I mean,
Oh,
that's
there's
how you do it.
what a star. There you go.
Candy
Candy.
bleeds
Guess what?
money.
Candy, not talking about the past. Freaking
She also
biggest
doesn't talk
opening.
about money.
And I bet she's getting wealthier than
Uh,
Bethany. I'm going to say it.
Are you kidding me? Of course.
There you have it.
I think. I mean,
Othello, biggest Broadway opening, what, in the history, I think, as far as money. I mean, a huge. Candy
what
and
is this? Her like fifth broad? I mean, Candy is a Broadway producer now on the side. Girl don't got no time for RHOA, although it is fucking great this season.
And if I were her, I'd close the lady gang in these restaurants. The restaurant business is so hard. I'd give it up. I don't know.
And they're giving her troubles. They're giving her troubles lately. More
Okay.
troubles with the restaurants.
All right. I'll see you in a minute, doll.
I can't wait.
Talk all that. Okay,
Buy tickets to our live show.
perfect. Bye, gorgeous.